I just got to the most romantic, sweetest, angsty part. Oh my, like my heart just like hurts. It's just so interesting. Like, lust ain't love, y'all, you know? Like, he loves her, right? Hi guys, welcome to my first ever reading vlog. I'm very excited about this reading vlog because I am participating in the Historical Romance Readathon by Jess from Peace Love Books. Jess from Peace Love Books, Lacey from Lacey's Book Lovers, and Lisa from Remarkably Lisa. So, it technically starts tomorrow, but I'm starting today because I just barely finished Midnight Sun, and I loved it. And I wanted something else to read. Also, I don't know that I'll be able to read very much this weekend, so I'm giving myself a head start. So, I started reading Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins for the prompt author of color, and I am about 15% in so far, and I am loving that so much. I typically don't enjoy a lot of American-based historical, excuse me, sir, historical romance. I just don't enjoy that time period a whole lot, like Frontiers, Pioneer. This is my dog Cosmo, if you don't know. Beverly's writing is very easy to get immersed in right away. She's really, really good at making the characters relatable, making them someone that you are invested in and that you want to root for. And I think that she does something pretty interesting with her point of view, where it's the close third-person point of view, and within even the same chapter without page breaks, it will kind of alternate between our heroine Eddie and our hero Ryan within the same scene, which is interesting because then you get to see both of their perspectives and thought processes as something is happening. So, and then I'm also going to start for audiobook Lady Sophia's Lover by Lisa Kleypas. I'm excited about that one. I've never read a Lisa Kleypas before. I've heard about her a ton. I haven't read very much historical romance at all. Anyway, that's what I'm reading. I'm not going to get much reading done today in physical form. I have Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins on ebook, but I'm going to start Lady Sophia's Lover on audiobook while I work, and then I will give you an update later. Hi guys, so I am almost done with work for the day. I have another hour left, and I've been listening to Lady Sophia's Lover on audiobook, and I gotta admit, when I first started listening to this, like from the very get-go, it's very much all about the physical attraction of him to her, and I was sort of like, But, you know, just a few minutes after that, you sort of see the setup of the plot, and it's very interesting, very entertaining. This is my first Lisa Kleypas book, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but I did have high expectations because she is so well loved. But I'm enjoying it. It's super fun. I like it a lot. I am about to go work out in my garage gym that we built because of the quarantine, and then I think after that I will start reading more of Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins, which I am super excited to get back to that because I really love it. So, there's your update. Hi guys, so reading update. I have been listening to Lady Sophia's Lover all morning. Like, I took Cosmo for a walk, put dinner in the slow cooker, and I've just been doing like some work for my business. When I showed the clip of me working yesterday, I own a small creature sculpture business, so I was designing a new creature. So today I have the launch of that sculpture, so I've been doing all the social media and the email newsletter and all that stuff to get that ready to go. I'm a little anxious about it, like I always am when I launch a new creature. Last night I read a little bit of Beverly Jenkins' Forbidden. I still am really, really loving it. I just fell asleep too early, but I think something that I really like about Beverly's book compared to Lisa Kleypa's books, I'm listening to Lady Sophia's Lover, and I'm reading the ebook Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins at the same time. So during the day I listen to my audiobook and then I read at night. It's interesting to me to see just how different their styles are, and I think that at this point I very much prefer Beverly's style because it's really, there's a lot more character building, there's a lot more of a relationship building with a very, very slow burn, which is my favorite thing about a romance, is a slow burn romance. And I feel like I was talking about yesterday, it's not a bad thing, but definitely Lady Sophia's Lover is more based off of physical attraction and how turned on they are by each other and all that stuff, which is fun. And I feel like we're just starting to get to the more like relationship building aspect of it, whereas at the beginning it was just like two people that were super attracted to each other and just like, you know, and now we're starting to see the relationship sort of build and there is feelings there. And I think that is what Beverly's book is, what puts it to a 5-star, when you see the relationship build slowly over time, when you get to see character traits build and develop. Forbidden is about, Eddie is a daughter of a slave, and she's the heroine, and she is making her, she wants to be a cook, she wants to have her own restaurant, and so she's trying to make her way from, is it Colorado? I think Colorado to California, and right off the bat, like all of her money and everything is stolen, and she has no way to get there. This happens on like the first page. She has no way to get there. So immediately, instead of just like, you know, putting her dreams aside and choosing a different profession, like, you know, something that wouldn't be very good, she carries on with her dream and she makes it work. She finds a way to get to where she wants to be. She's super determined. She's very resilient, and I just really, really love her character, and I want her to be happy so much. When she meets the hero, Ryan, he notices that about her right away. He notices her depth of character and how strong she is and how resilient she is, and yeah, he notices that she's beautiful and all this other stuff, but it's that sort of soul level connection that I just love the most. And so that's what I prefer in a romance, and when I read one like that, I'm like, that's going to be a 5-star. So I anticipate that Beverly Jenkins' book will be a 5-star read for me, or if, I don't know, I mean, I'm 30% of the way into it, so, you know, things can change, but so far, highly, highly recommend. I think it's amazing. Does anyone else's bangs do this? I need to go wash them. And Lady Sophia's Lover is a fun read. It definitely is a fun read. It's an engaging read. I am enjoying it, but it's just not quite to the level of a 5-star romance for me. So now I'm going to keep listening to Lady Sophia's Lover, and then tonight I'm going to keep reading Beverly Jenkins. I just saw that my mystery box, my mystery historical romance box, was delivered. I've been waiting for it. It took forever to get here. So, because, you know, USPS is a bit of a nightmare right now. So I'm excited about that. I can't decide if I want to do an unboxing right now or tomorrow. I won't put it in this vlog. It will have its own separate video. That's where I'm at. I'm going to go keep working, and I'll check back in with you later. Bye. my mystery book box, mystery historical romance book box, and I thought I would give you guys a little teaser because I got so many pretty ones and I'm so excited. So here we have Brenda Joyce, The Game, with this. Can you even, like, look at that hand placement. Both 3 hands and a rope. They're swinging by a rope. I'm excited. You may actually have already seen my unboxing. I'm not sure when I'm going to post it, but I just wanted to share that with you because I was super excited. Okay, back to work. Hi guys. Well, it's day 2 of the Historical Romance Readathon, and I finally finished my first book. I finished Lady Sophia's Lover by Lisa Kleypas. I listened to it on audio, and the audiobook narrator, I think, did a great job. It was very, very entertaining. She had a lot of great inflection in her voice, and she did it. It was a great narrator. I sort of have mixed feelings about this book because on the one hand, it had a lot of the things that I love in a romance novel. It had a really compelling hero who I really like, Ross. Like, he's a good one. But there were some things that I didn't necessarily like. I felt like it had way too many, like, plot devices added, like, one after another. And I think the thing that makes me a little disappointed the most is that I feel like this had the makings of what could have been a really epic book. And I'm really impressed with Lisa Kleypas' writing ability, but I do think that the steam level was very high. I would say it was a 5 out of 5 on a steamy scale. And there's nothing wrong with that, but the thing that made that less enjoyable for me was that it, just as the story was advancing and as we were really getting into the story and we were finding out more plot revelations and we were getting to the good meat of the hero and heroine, like, getting together and having real moments, it was like, oh, steamy scene, you know? And it just seemed like the story itself took a back seat to the steam, and I'm not about that. I would anything in any book that I read, if there's something in there, even if it's a literary fiction novel, if the writing is too beautiful, if it's too wordy, if it's too flowery, and it draws away from the story in any sense of the way, like even in horror, if there's too much gore, if the gore level is so much that you get drawn out of the story, that just takes it down for me, you know? So I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. I am interested in reading more of her books. I'm kind of curious to see if this is a pattern for how she writes her books in general. But I just wish there had been a bit more emotional development between the characters, a bit more focus on the story and the plot, which was interesting. So Lady Sophia's Lover is about Sophia and Ross. Ross is a magistrate. Sophia is going to try and work for him to avenge her brother's death, who Ross was responsible for his death. So the whole story, like, there's that in the background, but there's this really big sexual tension between the two of them that just kind of is palpable. It's really well done, but like I said, every time we got to a point in the story where I felt like, okay, this is good, this is what I want to hear, this is the story that I came here for, it would be like like a 3-page steamy scene, and I'm just like, I want more emotional development, I want more plot development. I enjoy steam, absolutely, but I don't want it to draw away from the story, you know what I mean? Anyways, I enjoyed it. It was a 3 out of 5 star. I did like it. That was probably the only thing that I would say was a drawback. I believe that romance books are capable of having a good balance of steam, plot, emotional development. And what I am invested in is the relationship developing. And steam is a part of that, but it's not the whole picture, you know? Like, that's why, like, when I first said it was so much focus on their physical attraction, and that is important and that's fun, but, like, lust ain't love, y'all, you know? Like, and I just I don't enjoy that trope, I guess, you know, like I want the background, I want to see that they're connected in a way other than their bodies are connected, you know. So I am 60% of the way finished with Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins, and that book is exactly what I'm looking for in a romance. Exactly. Like, it's such a slow burn, you guys. If you love slow burn romances, you've got to give this one a try. It's just so compelling. It's just the longing is so real, and I love it. I love it so much. It's just fantastic. I'm gonna go read more of Forbidden. I have to do some work today, and then it's Saturday, so hopefully I can get a lot of reading done. But I do work for my business. I work pretty much 6 days a week. I'm always working. The only day I take completely off is Sunday. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow, just reading. I may change my TBR, which I realize I don't think I even told you guys what my TBR was. This is my TBR. I may change my TBR because of my mystery box. I kind of want to read one of those. So we'll see what happens when I finish Forbidden. Check back in later. So, you guys, I love Beverly Jenkins writing. I love Forbidden. I've only read 10 more percent. I'm at 70%. I have it says I have like an hour and a half left to finish it. I love it so much. I just got to the most romantic, sweetest, angsty part. Oh my, like my heart just like hurts in a good way. And this book is so heart-wrenching. So it's set in 1870, post-Civil War. There are no slaves anymore. And Eddie, the heroine, she's free. Her mom and dad were free, but her grandmother was a slave who was a queen in Africa. And the hero, Rhine, is the son of a slave mother and a wealthy plantation owner. But Ryan is white passing, and no one knows that of his parentage. Nobody knows that he is half black. And we're reading what life was like then for Black people, and seeing the hope that they had after the Civil War, that things would be different, that they would, you know, be more welcomed in society, and seeing the reality of that, even though I know this is fiction, but seeing the reality of that in their lives, like they still want to have a separate school for the Black kids, even though there's only 3 of them, and the thing that's keeping them apart, Eddie and Ryan, is that Ryan, everyone thinks he's white and Eddie is black, and she's convinced that he only wants her as a mistress, that he doesn't want to marry her. And I think that it even said that it was against the law for them to marry at that time. And so Ryan is struggling with whether or not he should what he should do about that, because everyone thinks he's white. And it's just such a beautiful, heartbreaking love story. Like, I love it so much. It's wonderful. So, that's... Hi guys. So, I just finished Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins, and I loved it so much. 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars. I already told you how I felt about it in the other clip before this, so I'm just gonna say that I finished it. It was beautiful and wonderful and hopeful, and I loved it. And now I'm ready to move on to book number 3 for the readathon. We came to a park so that my son could practice basketball, and my shoes hurt my feet, so I decided to come sit in the car and finish my book and read. Also, it's 100 degrees, so I'm just gonna sit here. But this book came in the mail today. I've heard great things about it. It's kind of short. I think it's less than 300 pages. Oh, it's a little over 300 pages. So I'm gonna start that next, and I'm excited to see what I think about it. I'm excited to see if it lives up to the hype. So far, I definitely feel like I kind of prefer the older historical romance novels as opposed to the newer ones. So, I'm kind of curious to see what I think about this because I know this is recently published. Let's see. 2009, so not brand new, but I guess before 2000s. I actually don't know when Forbidden was published. That makes me curious. I'll have to look that up. So, yeah. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I want some food. They're still shooting hoops, so I'm gonna keep reading. Well, hi guys. It's Sunday, last day of the Historical Romance Readathon. I'm gonna do a wrap-up once I finish this book. I think this will be my last book. So that means I will have read 3, which is really good for me because I'm not the type of person that can read like as much as a lot of booktubers do. A book a day is astonishing for me. So this is incredible. I'm so enjoying it. I was a little leery going into it because it came so highly recommended. Like, I haven't heard anybody say that they didn't love it. I know. I would say that it's pretty close to a 5-star for me. The main character, the hero Ian Mackenzie, the madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie, is extremely interesting. He has autism. It's never mentioned on page, but he is a very compelling hero because he has a lot of like brusqueness, but it's not intentional, right? Like you can tell that he's trying his best to do the right thing in each situation, but he just doesn't have the capability to do that. And so a big part of the book is him telling Beth, the heroine, that he could never love her and that he doesn't know how to love, that he's not capable of it. And he asks her a couple of times to explain to him what it means to love, and those are some of my favorite parts. So to basically summarize, this is a book about Lord Ian McKellen, the son of a duke, who was put in an insane asylum as a child because he has autism, and Beth is the heroine, and she is a widow, and she just recently inherited a lot of money. So at the beginning of the book, she is engaged to be married to someone else, and Ian knows him and knows that he is not a good man at all, and he sees Beth in their first meeting and he cannot bear the idea of her being married to that guy. So it's their love story. It's very, very compelling. It's such a page turner. It's one of those books that you just don't want to put down. It's very fast paced. It flows really well. The pacing is perfect. The characters are interesting. And there's just something about Ian that is just so interesting. Like, he loves her, right? He is growing to love her throughout the book. Obviously, it's romance. He's growing to love her, but he just isn't aware of that feeling, and he doesn't know how to describe it as love. And so it's almost like he's not morally gray, but he's constantly battling with himself and trying to decide what the right thing to do is. And I don't know. It's super interesting. Their dynamic as a couple is just so good. It's just fantastic. So I'm halfway through, and I'm gonna go finish this, and I guess I will come back here when I'm finished and we'll do a wrap up. So this has been such a fun readathon. I've really, really loved it. I tell you what, guys, like, this year's been heavy, right? Like, it has really been heavy, and I think finding these romance books has eased that heaviness for me. It's just been so enjoyable to get into a happy romance that you know is going to end in a happily ever after, right? It's a great escape. And I'm going to finish this, and the readathon is going to end, and then I'm going to pick up another one, I'm sure, because I want to. So all right, I'll check in with you later. is over, and I finished my last book. I finished The Madness of Ian Mackenzie, and I loved it so much. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think that this is quite honestly probably as close to perfect of a romance novel that I've ever read. It has a beautiful love story. It has a strong heroine. It has a hero who can be tough and gentle and protective at the same time, and just such a complicated relationship, and I just loved it so much. So it was just perfect. So to wrap up, I read Lady Sophia's Lover, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. I think that it had a lot of, the story itself was good, but it was really dragged down by the amount of steam. I felt like it took away from the story. It was too much, in my opinion. I wanted more story, more relationship building, and less of the steam. I also read Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins, which was amazing and is one of my all-time favorite reads for the year. It was the most amazing slow burn romance I have ever read. So if you're a fan of slow burn romances, definitely give that a try. It was rich in characters, it was rich in history, it was just beautifully done, and it had this quiet, gentle way of telling a story that just was wonderful. I just loved it. And then I read The Madness of Ian Mackenzie, which you already know I gave 5 out of 5 stars because it was wonderful. So that's it. The Historical Romance Readathon is over, and I had a ton of fun. I am so happy with my reading. I love that I found 2 new favorite books, new authors to try. I have some more of Jennifer Ashley's books coming, 1 more, and I am now on the hunt for Beverly Jenkins because I need to read everything that she has ever written. Just loved it. So just want to say thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.